It's a fascinating time to be a person. It really is. So interesting right now.
It's a good time.
Oh, yeah, it's a great time.
Also a rough time.
Wow, it's
with all the mass shooters. And
that's fucked
crazy
up part.
Especially in Thousand Oaks. That was a safe-ass place.
Yeah, how is that
And
happening?
a former Marine.
How about a dude that was in the Las Vegas shooting as a survivor was a survivor in the Thousand Oaks shooting?
You know,
what are the fucking odds of that? Same year?
Isn't that insane?
Think about the odds of that. That's why I was talking to my girl. Think about I think there was someone who was in the Vegas shooting who survived that, who was at this one that died, right?
Was there?
I think so. Either way, it's dark shit. Yeah. They don't have no idea his motive or anything, right?
The cops had investigated him. They investigated him fairly recently because they thought he was unstable or something like that. I think his mom called the cops. Like somebody called the cops on him, and they investigated him, talked to him.
That's always tough if you're FBI. Like, what do you want us to do? Arrest him for being fucking weird? Like, he didn't threaten us. Like, what can we do?
For everyone that does this,
can't trail the guy nonstop.
100,000 that don't. You know, I mean, you got to figure out what the fuck is it that allows people to decide to hit that switch. Like, I don't know if they understand that. Like, what's the psychological motivation of that? But it's got to be a sign that there's something wrong with our culture if it's popping up so often. It's got to be a sign that there's something wrong.
Obviously, they always chalk it up to mental health, and all right, yeah, he has mental health. But you know how many people have mental health issues, and none of them are going to blow people up or shoot people.
There's different kinds of mental health issues.
But there's also just bad people.
Yeah, but
sometimes we got to chalk it up to that too.
That's true too. But you know, a lot of bad people, like a giant number, have had horrible things happen to them. That's where it gets weird. Because it's like, okay, what made this guy become who he is? Yep. I mean, you definitely should arrest someone who does evil shit, right? But what makes a person get to a point where they can do evil shit? There's a whole series of events probably take place, including abuse, physical abuse, maybe sexual abuse.
And sometimes there's not. Sometimes you just get a bad apple. Like with Jeffrey Dahmer, it's like his parents are like.
Yeah,
I mean,
you definitely can get
he had some weird shit with his mom, but still.
You know how some people are born; they have problems with their liver.
Yeah.
Some people are born; they have problems with their brain. Yep. That's just a fact. We know that. There's problems with the eyesight. There's problems with people are born deaf.
Yep.
There's errors in the human body sometimes. You don't think that someone could be born just completely squirrely wired wrong. Of course they can.
Sociopath.
Just only makes sense. I'm not a doctor, obviously. I'm a fucking moron, but. I bet a doctor would agree that when you're dealing with mental health issues, you're probably dealing with this giant spectrum of them.
What if there's something we could check so that, like, when they're a baby, you could check and there's something in the DNA?
That's called eugenics.
And they're like, he's going to be a bad kid. Do we just?
That's called eugenics.
What do you do with him?
But how do you know he's going to be a bad? Why? How many people?
Based on the symmetry of your face.
But how many people want to be a better person and they don't ever get it together? And how many people are lacking like some sort of coaching or lacking some
inspiration,
positive people in their life, and then their life spirals further and further downhill? How many people are on the border?
God, the majority, right?
I think yes, because I think people change and I think people improve as they grow older and as they become wiser and they have more experiences.
But also, if you look at the mass shooters, a lot of them are quote unquote losers. They live within their parents' basement. They don't have anything going on.
A lot of them
look like shit. They're always white, and they're
always white.
Low energy, always white, low energy.
Sometimes not low energy. This guy didn't seem low energy.
You know, the Nazis made propaganda films. Basically, they made people believe that mentally deranged people were out on the streets attacking and killing people, and they made propaganda film so that they would killing someone who was, mentally deranged. Yeah.
You always have to be careful of people trying to label someone as someone that you don't have to consider a regular human, someone who you could disregard.
That's what they do with the Jews, right? They're like, they're rats, they're stealing from us, they're monsters. Sure. That's what they do.
People have done that throughout history to other people. There's like a scientific term for it. I don't remember what it is. But
eugenics.
Damn, I wish
no,
Callan
no,
was
that's
here.
not what I'm saying.
Callan would have had it.
There's a scientific term for people that demonize other groups of people. And the way they look at people.
Propagandists?
No. The way you look at people, like this is a person, and you looked at the enemy, you would look at them like a subhuman. There's a
Racist.
psychological. It is definitely racist.
Yeah,
but there's like a trait that people. Like there's like a pattern that people commonly fall into with that.
I feel like it's a common word too.
The enemy.
We're all stupid in here.
We're all stupid. But dehumanizing the enemy.
Callan would
it's
know
a
it.
natural thing that people do. They just everyone does it. It's so weird. And it's how people can do gang warfare. It's how people can do tribal warfare. It's how people can do intercontinental warfare.
Well, you had your boy, what's his name? The English cat, the hypnotizer,
Darren Brown.
Darren Brown.
Yeah.
Have you seen his thing on Netflix?
No.
It's fucking sick. And so it's no spoiler alert, but so he took a guy, like he took a ton of people, took a guy who lives in Florida who's in construction and who was super kind of racist towards immigrants like Mexicans and Hispanics. And he sat him down because he thought he was the perfect one. For sure, took his phone off, bro.
God damn it.
What in the fuck?